Well, welcome everyone. We're so excited to have you with us. So, whether you're joining us live or you're watching the recording, we're glad you came to learn about this fabulous cruise with Azamara Cruises. So, I'll briefly go over what the agenda is tonight. We're going to cover why Azamara is just a wonderful way to see Europe and the Mediterranean. And then we're going to unveil kind of what's the difference about Azamara. They call it change the way you see. See how they did that? SEA. So it's a different kind of cruise line. And then we're going to discover what our exclusive discounts are and our amenities. And um, so get ready, set sail with us on this extraordinary experience. So, just a little bit about our agency. Steve and I have a passion for crafting vacations with you, our clients, in mind. Uh, we have been doing this for 12 years, and throughout that journey, we've had the privilege of helping countless clients have truly memorable getaways. That's our goal. We want to use our extensive experience to customize and make a wonderful experience for you. And that's kind of why we take out groups on these cruise lines like Azamar, because it's something a little bit different, a little bit off the beaten track. It's not necessarily something that you're going to see advertised on TV when you're watching a football game, like the big guys, like Royal Caribbean with their huge ships. Azamara has four very small, very intimate ships. And we love working with them because they kind of have the same goals that we have a customized experience, a personalized experience. We want to have that same experience in working with you, our clients, to totally make your dream vacation come through. So we travel quite a lot and we understand the importance of a quality travel experience because we are such avid travelers ourselves. We're so thankful that the internet is so reliable that we can work from anywhere in the world, even on cruise ships now, because they all have Starlink. And our travels are not just an investment in our business, but in you, our clients, because we want to leverage the firsthand travel experience that we have to create exceptional vacation experiences tailored to you, our clients' needs. So, just a little bit of a overview of the advantages of working with our agency. You've got an insider working on your behalf. You have got expert planning assistance just to make sure that you are having that dream vacation. And we know that one size doesn't fit all. So we have a very consultative style in our approach to helping our clients with their vacation experience. We always have a low price guarantee. You're never going to pay more booking through our agency than you would directly with the cruise line. And you're going to get all that personalized and firsthand knowledge experience to enhance your vacation experience. And help is just a phone call away. You don't have any hold times, any queues. You're going to get me or you're going to get my voicemail. If you leave me a voicemail, I'll probably return your call within the hour. Same with emails. I try to respond as almost immediately to every inquiry that I get. So, Azamara, change the way you see. What does that mean? So, they have different philosophy about cruising. First of all, they do a lot of extended stays in port. So they have more late nights and overnights than any other cruise line. They did a webinar about 6 months ago to talk about that to travel agents. And they did a comparison chart to some of the other cruise lines that say they have late nights and overnights. And Azamar just completely owns that space. They have more time in the ports that you're visiting than any other cruise line. And they also have these wonderful, unique, smaller ships. They're about 750 passengers on board. So, you know that the brand new ships you see advertised on TV with 7,500 of your best friends, this is a completely different approach. 750 people, no crowds, definitely more intimate, personalized service, and they still have a lot of variety of things to do, even though you're on a small ship. And they also focus on local experiences. They have something called the As Amazing Evening, and I'll share with you a little bit about that towards the end of the presentation. And then again, they have that intimate atmosphere with only 750 guests. It is completely different from, the big mega cruise ships. It's really It's a cruise line for people who say, well, I don't want to go on a cruise because I don't like crowds. This is the perfect cruise line for you. Or I don't want to go on a cruise because I don't spend enough time in the destination. This is the perfect cruise line for you. So let's look at that destination in the itinerary. Again, look at the times in port. Now, we have some late nights. We're into 10 p.m. We overnight in Salerno, Italy. That's going to be beautiful. So a lot of time in these different ports and two stops in Sicily with two different chances to take tours to different areas in Sicily. So wonderful, wonderful time in port and a beautiful itinerary because a lot of these ports are off the beaten path. I mean, we've never been to Albania, and everything I've been reading about Sarande, Albania, is that it is absolutely gorgeous, a hidden gem on the Adriatic. So our cruise will start in Athens, Greece, and I would recommend, if you've never been to Athens, come in a couple days early to enjoy this city. The things that I would recommend is an early morning visit to the Acropolis, where you're going to see the Parthenon and a couple of the other little temples that are up there. And then also, I suggest, and I'll show you on this on the next slide, a visit to the Acropolis Museum. This is where they have so many of the treasures that they have found on the Acropolis, and they've put them in the museum to preserve them. You could also do something like a street food tour. I mean, Greek food is fabulous. Or you could do a day tour to places like the Meteora monasteries. Those are those big, tall rock cliffs that have the monasteries on top. Oh, and there's also some hermit caves there. There's also places like Mycenae and Elpidophoros and let's see, Papilio that you could take a day tour. They also have a biblical tour of the city of ancient Corinth. You can do a Footsteps of St. Paul tour in Athens. So no matter what your interest is, there's definitely something to do if you come in a couple days early to Athens. So our first port that we're actually going to visit as part of the cruise is Olympia. And I recommend, it's about 35-minute drive from the port city of Catalacolom to the city of Olympia. It's a beautiful city. You can tour the ancient ruins of the city. You can see the ancient Olympic track where they held the athletic events. And then you can go to the museum where they have all these wonderful treasures reconstructed. And what's behind me and what you see in this picture is a reconstruction of the facade of one of the most important buildings that they had there in Olympia. Some shore excursions. So these are just examples of some of the shore excursions that you can take with Azamara. Again, they are your destination experts. So this is what I would recommend, the Ancient Olympian Archaeological Museum. We've done that. So maybe we might want to do something like this, like go to a Greek farm and meet the owner, have some local food and wine. I said that on my next tour to Greece, I wasn't going to see anything old because I saw that on my first tour. I highly recommend it. If you haven't been there, you see the old stuff too. But I also said I wanted to do something that was like more like, what is modern life in Greece? And they definitely offer that with Azamara. And then we're going to go to Sarande, Albania. This is just such a charming city. It's got a beautiful horseshoe-shaped bay with beaches and promenades that you can stroll along and seaside dining. And then there's also ancient history here. There is a 5th century synagogue that was later converted to a Christian basilica. And it also has really well-preserved mosaics. And then there's also a castle that's from the 16th century that's like a hilltop fortress. If you go up there, you'll get breathtaking panoramic views. You'll see the Ionian Sea, the town, and you'll see the hills kind of dotted with olive groves all over. And then the coastal beauty. They have beautiful azure waters and that rolling hill, and it's just such a picturesque setting. And you get to check, if you've never been to Albania, you get to check another country off your bucket list. So our next port is going to be Siracusa, Sicily. And this will be my first time to the island of Sicily. I have been to Italy many times. It is one of my favorite places to visit, but we just never got to Sicily. There's so many things to do in this little undiscovered favorite town. Um, you can see the ancient Greek theater. There's a temple of Apollo. There's the ear of Dionysius. And I think that was in the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny movie. I'm not sure. But anyway, and then also the wonderful Sicilian style pizza and other Sicilian cuisine is something that you can indulge in. So here's a look at some of the different excursions that Azamara offers. You can you can see a couple different towns on foot. You can go wine tasting. You can go bicycling, and you can also just see classical Syracuse. So lots of stuff to do in this port. And then our next port in Sicily is Catania. And it's a wonderful port to itself, but it's also the gateway to the beautiful scenic Taormina, which it is cliffside, has these beautiful waters. That's where you see these islands here. You also see Mount Etna there. So many different things, ancient ruins like the Greek theater, again, Mount Etna, panoramic coastline. So such a wonderful place to visit, and it's going to be scenic. And also, you can have food. You can go back to Siracusa if you missed it the first time. You can go see Taormina and do some wine tasting. There's just no limit to the different things that you can do in this area to take in both the culture and the breathtaking beauty. Now, Palermo. Most ships, when they visit this area of Italy, will will dock in the big town of Naples. And Naples is a really big town with noise and cars and stuff. But we will dock in Palermo, which is so much more beautiful. It's like on the Amalfi Coast. And it's such a great getaway to so many fantastic sites. Now, this is one I have never been to Pompeii, so that's definitely on my list of what I want to do. But I've also never done the Amalfi Coast Drive. And guess what? We're overnight here. So this gives me a chance to do both, which is going to be so exciting. So here's a list of the different excursions that Azamara offers from Palermo. Again, you can do food tasting in Sorrento. That's kind of all a leisurely Amalfi Coast by motor launch. So that's going to be a boat that's going to take you along the Amalfi Coast. Ruins of Herculaneum, evacuations of Pompeii. So many different things that you can do in this wonderful port, and you don't have to deal with the big city of Naples. And then our cruise ends in Rome, the eternal city. But your venture doesn't have to end. I guess I would also recommend that if you can possibly take the time, extend your stay and take in all the wonders of Rome. We've been to Rome several times, spent several weeks there a couple years ago. But some of the great sights to see are the Vatican, the Trevi Fountain, the Pantheon. There's so many beautiful Romanesque and Rococo churches. There's fabulous pizza and other kinds of Italian cuisine. And I think we had gelato every single day when we were there. And we also, I think, somehow ended up at the Trevi Fountain every day. We're having gelato and seeing the Trevi Fountain. Rome is really a wonderful city, and it's great to explore on foot. So now that we know where we're going, would you like to see how we're getting there? So this is our ship, the beautiful Azamara Quest. It's a mid-sized ship, around 750 passengers. It is just the right size to get into these intimate ports, and it doesn't overwhelm the infrastructure. You don't see this long ant trail of people coming off the ship. It's just 750. And it's really, like I said, it's for people who don't want to cruise with 7,500 of their best friends. They want to see the ports, and they want to have a relaxed, intimate setting on board the cruise ship. But it doesn't lack in venues. It's got 7 restaurants. That's supposed to say lounge. I don't know why it says cages. There are no cages on this cruise ship. I'm not sure what I was trying to say there, but it's a wonderful cruise ship. So small ship experience, it makes all the difference. They give you more time in port and smaller ports and the late night stays and overnight stays. So let's talk about that Azamara experience. Personalized service, late night departures, an authentic connection with your destination. And again, because the ship is small, you're able to get into these rarely visited ports. Now let's talk about the as amazing evening. This is my favorite part of Azamara. We have had two of these wonderful experiences. We had in Dubrovnik, Croatia. They took we were tendering in there. They had like tour boats that were big and could get 100 people on at a time. They had like seven of us. Picked us up on the ship, brought us into Dubrovnik, and then they had a drum line and like soldiers and people with flags marching us through the streets up to this castle. When we got to the top of the castle, they had this wonderful show that was all Croatian singing, dancing, music, history. It was a fabulous experience. And these shows are created specifically for Azamara cruises. And the only people who get to see them are the Azamara guests. So that was in Dubrovnik. And then in Montevideo, we went to this gorgeous opera house downtown. And they had this cast, it must have been a cast of 150 people that put on this amazing celebration of carnival program for us with singing and dancing and drums. And it celebrated all the different cultures that create the carnival season in Montevideo, something we really, really loved. I have to tell you, the As Amazing experience is something that you will not want to miss, and it's something that you will not forget. So, again, back to that small ship experience and the inclusions. So, variety of dining rooms are included, beer, wine, and spirits, not just with lunch and dinner, but all day and all night. There's, again, that As Amazing evening. You get unlimited self-service laundry. So they have laundrettes that you get to use. And your tips and gratuities are also always included with Azamara. The deck parties and shore events will have you in a festive mood for sure. The officers barbecue is one of my favorite events, and then also the white night, which is also an evening barbecue. And in order to serve everyone all at the same time, they have the tables all set up around on the pool deck. They have every single person who works on the ship uh, serving and making your experience. The officers, everybody comes out, and the white night is truly an incredible experience, and it's so efficient. There's great food, music, dancing, entertainment. It is amazing. And you might ask, well, on a small ship, am I still going to have entertainment? Well, there's live bands, they're really good, production shows, there's a piano bar, and most of Azamara's cruise directors are also singers. So they also sing. And we had a special welcome from our cruise director in Montevideo when we came back from our experience. She was on the promenade and she had set up a speaker and music, and she was singing beautiful opera arias as we were getting off the buses and coming back up the gangway. It really made for a special evening to top off that wonderful evening that was already great entertainment. To hear those beautiful opera arias as we're coming back to ship, it was amazing, to use a turn of phrase. Gourmet dining experience. So Azamara offers a variety of dining options. They always try to include local flavors into all of their meals. For example, and the Azamara Journeys World Cuisine selection matches the country featured in the buffet every evening. So there's a world cuisine section of the buffet, and there's always a country that we're visiting featured there. There's specialty dining restaurants. There is Prime C, which is their wonderful steakhouse, and Aquilina, which is their Italian and seafood restaurant. And Steve, who doesn't like seafood, loved Aquilina because they still had some good meat dishes on there for him. There's casual dining in the buffet area, and there's a grill out by the pool with burgers. That's a great place to get a quick bite to eat. And then they have dining events, like we mentioned, the officers barbecue and the white night are different things. And they also are great about accommodating dietary restrictions. If we just need to let them know, 80 days before sailing if you have any special allergies or aversions, that kind of thing. They do have vegan options also in every meal as well. See there, you see that vegan menu and some of the wonderful international foods and the wine tasting experiences. Yeah, it is a wonderful dining experience. Again, we'll talk about those dining choices again. There's the Discoveries restaurant, which is their main dining room. The Windows Cafe is the buffet. It's open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there's actually some nights that we went there. We were on a longer cruise, but where we just like, let's just do casual dining tonight. There's a poolside patio grill, Mosaic Cafe, which is a casual dining venue that's open until late. You know, it's like a little late night place. Prime C Steakhouse Aquilina. There's a low fat yogurt station, and then of course the White Night Barbecue. There are some beautiful public spaces. This is just two of them that I'm featuring in this presentation. The forward facing entertainment lounge and observation lounge. And as you can see here, they do have snacks out there. That's kind of where they have things, little snacky things that you can get after dinner, late night, like empanadas and that kind of thing. They also have party bands, karaoke, trivia, other activities in this venue. And then the main lounge is their cabaret lounge where they have all of their production shows and featured entertainers. Beautiful pool deck. So whether you want sun or shade, and they have lovely luxurious loungers out there. And now we're going to take a look at the accommodations. So we're going to start with the most modest accommodation. These are the interior rooms, and you can see that these rooms have been beautifully restored and made over. They're actually very lovely decor, very, very today, even though it is an older ship. And here's a look at the ocean view room. Again, they have the two lower beds. You can accommodate roommates here. The beds can split apart so you can have roommates if you're not a romantic couple. And then they have the veranda and the veranda plus rooms. Now, if you book in the veranda plus category, it's going to add some amenities too. So you get the internet minutes package, a bag of laundry, one night of specialty dining, and they'll even put a bottle of liquor in your room for you to enjoy during the course of your cruise. Now, the Club Continent Suite, this is what we booked. And I'll need to let you know, in group space, they will not let us hold Veranda Plus or Club Continent Suites or any other kind of suites in the group space, but you can always book them at the current rates, which are 20% off, and that's still a really good deal. We booked the Club Continent Suite because one, we like the extra square footage. That desk is lovely. I can set up my office there. We do get a 250-minute internet package or 50% off the unlimited. You get a bag of laundry, and that's laundry service because remember, you can go down a laundrette and do laundry anytime, but sometimes it's nice to just send some stuff out and then you don't have to wait, for your laundry to be done. You get unlimited complimentary specialty dining with the Club Continent Suite. So if you enjoy Aquilina and Prime C, you can eat there as many times as you want. And you also get access to the spa areas, the thalassotherapy pool, and the spa deck. They also have some really big suites. So if that is like your thing, you want to have a little bit more space and you don't mind paying a little extra, again, you get all of those wonderful amenities and more square footage. Now, Azamara also offers several essentials packages where you can upgrade the inclusions on your cruise at very reasonable prices. Now, this says, I actually took this off the website for short cruises. It says it's $8.99 US dollars, but for our cruise, it's $7.99. And this must be the price for an 8-day cruise, and this must be the price for a 7-day cruise. So I'm not really sure why there's a discrepancy, but I was on the phone with the rep today and she said this is $7.99 for our cruise. So at this, you can get as part of the early booking bonus if you're booking at prevailing rates, or you can add it to our group discounted rates for $7.99 per cabin. And you actually still come out ahead than if you book with the prevailing rates at Azamara. So I have a chart for that. You don't have to memorize this. I'll show you in a little bit. So the early booking rates include more inclusions and more value. You get $300 onboard credit, complimentary Wi-Fi for one device, and a premium beverage package upgrade. So you get the better liquors, better wines, and that kind of thing. It can be added again to our group rates for $7.99 per cabin. So next, let's look at these rates. Okay, so I did two charts. I grabbed this chart off the Azamara webpage this morning, and then I compared it to what our group rates are. And I want to show you what a great value it is in the veranda cabin category and the Club Ocean View. So the Club Ocean View does not come with that essentials package, the upgrade package, even if you book it with the early booking. And the rate on that is $25.99. So I have that down here to show you. Our group rate on that same cabin is $2,049 per person for double occupancy. And then if you add the essentials onto it, you're still coming out lower than this one, the regular rate or the prevailing rate without the essentials. And the same is true for the Veranda 3 and the Veranda 2. So look, you can see that it offers you quite a bit of savings versus booking at these prevailing rates. Now, if you're going to be booking the Veranda Plus or the Club Continent Suite, have no fear. These are really nice 20% off rates. So it's a great time to book those. You want to book early. You do get the early booking bonus with these prices. So this is the time to book those. We like the size and the amenities of a Club Continent Suite, but because there's so few of them on the ship, and the same with the Verandas Plus, they don't let us hold them in our group allocation. Now you can book at those rates, and I can move you into group. You get all the group amenities, but it's just we don't have an allocation of cabins with lower prices. So another thing we're going to be doing for our group, and we're very excited, is because you're part of our group, we're going to give you $100 per cabin onboard credit, and then we are going to have a complimentary wine tasting event for all the folks in our group during the cruise. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll let you know when that is a little bit later down the road. So let's get you booked for Greece, Italy, and Albania. Fabulous itinerary. And you got the great early booking rates. You've got our concierge level service, our expert shore excursion planning and guidance to help you make the most of your cruise. We'll also assist with setting up important things like your flights and your pre and post cruise hotel. We're going to be on board. We are escorting this cruise. So we're going to make sure that every aspect of your trip exceeds your expectations. And of course, you get those early booking perks. If you want them, you can add them to and still come out ahead of the Azamara direct rates. So there's another look at that fabulous itinerary again and the wonderful things that we're going to be able to see and do. Want to let you know we do have a couple other group cruises that we're going to be hosting over the next couple years. So I wanted to share that information with you really quick. If you like this cruise, but say, oh, I'd like to see more of Europe. We have a cruise that allows you to have 4 days between. So this is pre-Azamara. It's on Windstar, another small yacht ship. It's only 300 passengers, and it goes from Istanbul to Athens. You get off the ship, you spend 4 days in Athens or the surrounds, and then you get on the Azamara one. So a great way to experience really an immersive part of the world, and none of the ports repeat. So complete, way to see two different aspects of that area. We also are doing escorted river cruises, and I know some people on this call are already booked for our wonderful Los Milix cruise, which is in November of 2025. We had a webinar on November 6th. So if you're interested in learning more about that, we can send you a link. And with the Avalon Bordeaux cruise, we had a webinar on November 7th. So if you're interested in learning about that, we can send you a link for that. And then we also are doing the Romantic Rhine Lake Como. Again, we have a recorded webinar. We can send you some information about that. If you have never seen Alaska, or you've seen it, but you want to see more of it, we have this wonderful 28-night Holland America cruise on June 8th of 2025. We have exclusive perks and amenities for our guests. And it's I should have updated this slide. They are still having have it all, and with the Black Friday offer, they are offering, I believe, still the free gratuities. So if you're interested in booking this, call me this week. I'll get you a quote and more information on it. In 2026, we're offering Antarctica in two different ways. We have a 14-night scenic sailing with Celebrity. That one we will not be escorting. We've actually done that cruise twice, and it is wonderful. We had such a good time on that cruise that we decided we wanted to really see Antarctica. So we are going on an expedition ship in February of 2026, and it will spend 11 nights going to and from and in Antarctica. And you actually get to go on Zodiacs and walk around the southern continent. It's an amazing experience. We've done the Arctic with Aurora Expeditions. As a matter of fact, we just booked a Northwest Passage with them for this summer. So look for more information on that. And if you are a wine lover, we are once again returning to the Caribbean with our very good friend, Eric Allen, who is a fabulous winemaker with Ascension Cellars. And he will be doing 4 hosted wine tasting events with his wine on board the fabulous Celebrity Ascent. So please reach out to me if you're interested in learning more about that. Scandinavian capitals in May of 2026 with Holland America. We have great group rates on these. And of course, I always put this in there. We have so many great group offerings. This is one of the things I specialize in. And you usually get more perks and better prices than if you book directly with a cruise line. So why wouldn't you? Go to our groups page and you can go look and see everything we're doing in the next year or two years. And then if none of what you've seen tonight is catching your interest, but you still want a great deal, we are one of the largest national accounts for Celebrity, and we have so many great sailings on which we have discounted prices. I think it's like 40,000 cabins or more where we have a better than direct pricing. So give me a call if you're flexible with your date and you're planning ahead. I can find a super smoking deal for you. So book now for big savings. This is not for the group bonus is $100 and it's not a 5%. It's a bigger than 5% savings. I needed to update the slide. So I have another video for you. It's called Azamara, Change the Way You See.
Push beyond the obvious and perspective is open to change. When you see parts unknown in ports less known, unwind, stay the night, and just slow down. Wander, but never wonder what a place is really like. The difference is night and day. Azamara, change the way you see.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that presentation. I'm going to open it up to questions now. I'm going to keep my screen on share in case somebody needs me to go back to another slide or review something with you. But I'm ready to take any questions that you have. Let me see if I can pull up the chat. Okay, I've got both the chat up and I'm listening. So does anybody have any questions or need me to review something?
You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, well, okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop the share so I can see everybody again, because when I share my screen, I can't see anybody.
Then I'll pause